Browse at nimnikchevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Hello, Jacksonville. This is Greg McGarity, President and CEO of Gator Bowl Sports. The TaxSlayer Gator Bowl game and events have been a Jacksonville staple for more than 75 years. We support more than 4,200 local youth annually through Gator Bowl charities. Gator Bowl Sports is a perfect way for local companies and individuals to get involved. We'd love to meet with you and talk about how you can join our team. If you'd like to learn more, contact us at 798-1700, 798-1700.
Anybody can win at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Tampa. One jackpot is paid out every minute on the hottest slot machines and table games. With over $2 billion in jackpots paid out in the last year, you could be the next lucky winner. Seminole Hard Rock Tampa has over 800 rooms and suites, a luxurious rock spa and salon, award-winning restaurants, and an exciting comedy and concert lineup, including pool parties with world-renowned artists. With a variety of gaming, dining, and entertainment options, anybody can win at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
Don't miss the Players' Championship March 7th through 12th at TPC Sawgrass. Invite your friends and family to enjoy the ultimate fan experience, complete with bites from your favorite local restaurants and front row access to the PGA Tour's best players. While on site, be sure to visit the expanded PGA Tour fan shop to stock up on this year's championship gear. Secure your spot at the iconic stadium course today. Tickets and parking passes are on sale now at theplayers.com.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar and Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar and Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Main office, Jacksonville.
The Jacksonville Icemen are home this Friday and Saturday as they battle the Adirondack Thunder for Healthcare Appreciation Weekend. Healthcare workers get a free ticket when you buy at least one additional ticket. Visit JacksIceman.com to learn more. Saturday, bring your dog to the game for Pucks and Paws Night. Game time for both games is 7 o'clock and tickets at Ticketmaster or JacksIceman.com. Call 904-602-PUCK. Icemen Hockey is lights out.
Hey, it's Tony from Tony D's Pizza. If you love our pizza and pasta dishes, let us cater an event for you. Family function or office parties, we can deliver you an amazing Italian meal. Remember, it's not just pizza at Tony D's. Bay Meadows and $2.95.
If your lawn is not as green as you'd like, it's time to go orange by calling Orange Environmental Services, Jacksonville's highest quality pest control for over 45 years. Frank Frangie here. I've trusted Orange Environmental to take care of our home's pest control needs for years. With the Orange Shield Protection Plan for your home or office, you can relax knowing Orange Environmental will handle pest control, termite control, and mosquito control. Orange Environmental has been giving Northeast Florida peace of mind from bug problems since 1972. Call them today at 272-3284.
The winter blues are almost behind us, and we can't wait to get out of the house and be more active. That sounds great, but your achy joints don't agree. Well, time to do something about that. Leon Searcy here. Start with the steroids. Start with the possible surgery chatter. Now there's a better way to get lasting relief. It's QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. This exciting approach uses healing properties from your own body, highly concentrated, and then places them directly in your aching joints. It can restore and repair that damaged tissue and get you moving again without pain. Knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, hip pain. The patient satisfaction report is incredible. And there's no downtime. Listen, the old way of dealing with joint pain are no longer the only ways. If they're telling you that you need surgery, do yourself a favor and call QC Kinetics. Learn more about the wildly popular, all-natural alternative way to get lasting pain relief. No surgery, no drugs. The call is free. The consultation is free. You have nothing to lose. Call QC Kinetics now, 904-274-5522. Locations in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra.
Concrete floors don't have to be ugly and hard to clean. Whether it's a garage with cracks, tire marks, and failed epoxy, or any concrete surface that isn't beautiful and maintenance-free, Shark Coatings will transform it. Our coating and warranty are stronger, more durable, and longer lasting than any other on the market. And because Shark Coatings is 100% UV stable for life, it's perfect for any concrete surface outside as well. Shark Coatings will let you reclaim those wasted hours spent pressure washing your driveway, patios, and walkways. Hit us up on social media or call 904-519-5055 to set up your free estimate today.
This is your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update.
I'm Andrew Gibson for 1010XL. Matthew Berry, a fantasy expert from NBC, was on the Frangie Show earlier today and spoke about Jaguars running back Travis Etienne Jr.
Travis Etienne was thunder and lightning. He was both. Really excited to see, and he came through the season healthy, which I think is most important. You know, a lot of times when guys have injuries like what Travis suffered, you know, maybe there's a year before the explosiveness comes back, and that wasn't the case. Clearly, second half of the year, he was nothing short of fantastic. I don't believe there'll be a fantasy football draft this year where Travis Etienne gets out of the first round.
Formerly of ESPN, now with NBC, that was Matthew Berry today with Hayes Carline on the Frangie Show. Evan Ingram expected to get the franchise tag, according to Adam Schefter from the Jaguars. 80 degrees at 6:01, time and temp, brought to you by Bueller Air Conditioning. Stay cooler with Bueller.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Feels like March in Duval. March. Great month for men. Great month for men who lie. All right? This is perhaps the greatest month of all for men to lie. They're going to lie their ass out of work on the 16th and 17th once the 16 games per get underway for the NCAA tournament. I think some will find their way out of the office, perhaps as early as next Wednesday. Okay, maybe you'll head over there Tuesday for Military Appreciation Day over at Sawgrass. What a phenomenal event. The players, as always, and I think everyone involved in our city when it comes to sports, certainly the Jaguars, do a wonderful job representing former and current and those who are past. As far as the military. Maybe some folks even getting out today, just to get to a bar somewhere, get in front of the TV and watch these 20, 21-year-olds run. Watch them bench press. Of course, if you're not Irish, you all lie on the 17th, right? I mean, isn't that, come on, just come right out and admit it. How many of you people before have actually, my great-grandfather's mother, her name was O'Brady, and things like that. I don't know what it is. It's something about it. And trust me, where I'm from, it's big. It's huge. I know around here it's a little lacking. If there's one thing that Jacksonville could use a little bit of improvement with, it would be Irish bars. Good, true, hole in the wall, your feet stick to the floor, Irish bars. Just lacking. It's really the only negative thing you'll ever hear me say about Jacksonville, because I want to tell you, everything else around here is perfect, right? High 80s today. I noticed that people were merging from 9A, 9B, 295 today, even though there was construction on Phillips, construction on Racetrack, construction here on Southside. No complaints. They're making it bigger. Everyone wants to move here. People like me from New England. Move down to Florida. People like California. I mean, all these people, all these different, I won't say political parties. I won't say it. They all leave these places where you know which way they want to vote, and they come here and vote that way. But, hey, just keep on opening doors for them right here in our great state of Florida. All right, so much to do today. Are you kidding me? This is such a perfect time of year. I love March. I love the Combine. This is unusual. Last couple of years, it's been top pick, right? Last couple of years, we've spent weeks, if not months. Which direction are the Jaguars going? Well, 2 years ago, we all knew it was Trevor. Okay, even Urban Meyer knew it was Trevor. Last year, it was Hutch, right? It was Hutch, it was Walker, it was get Icky, get Evan Neal, get the best offensive lineman. That's what I subscribe to. I said, you got your quarterback, go get the best offensive lineman that you possibly can. Well, they didn't go in that direction. Now, all of a sudden, a year later, I think, a major decision made today. It's not one of a surprise, but nonetheless, it did happen. All sorts of language out of Indianapolis, and it really began with the comments made by Trent Baalke over 48 hours ago when he said it on Tuesday. But Evan Ingram, if they can't reach a deal by Tuesday, he will be slapped with the franchise tag. Some entities out there are saying that it's already gone through. I have received nothing officially from the Jacksonville Jaguars. We do know that Ingram will get $11,345,000. It'll be a one-year contract. He bet on himself. Here's a guy who came in with phenomenal promise, phenomenal potential, and talent. His issues, drops too many balls, and can't stay healthy. He defied those odds this year. And stability, leadership, stability. Okay, those are two huge words for this organization as they do move forward. And the nuances, the wrinkles, the material and what you have that you can take with you from year to year is going to be so important in this growth, in this development of this offense. And Evan Ingram's a huge part of that. So it's not a surprise, but it certainly is newsworthy because as far as I'm concerned, it tells us a couple of things. The decision has been made that Evan Ingram is the most important man they have to bring back. More important than Juwan Taylor. Are they going to be able to get a deal done with Taylor? That's literally right now 50-50. All right? I think there are people out there that believe they want to keep this continuity and camaraderie and chemistry and every other word that you can come up with. They love the C words. Right? They do. The C words are all about the offensive line. Give me one. Give me one over there, JJ. I got chemistry, camaraderie. Character. Very good. Haircut looks better today, man. You had like a day to let it kind of bloom.
It usually does that. After I cut it, makes maybe 3 or 4 days later, it looks kind of perfect.
How does it feel to be engaged?
It feels amazing.
Yeah.
This sounds corny, but I'm like more in love with her than I've ever been.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Really? I mean, that is
I
so...
know that makes you
seriously, no. I'm not being a smart ass. I am absolutely... I'm tickled over here.
I'm not looking forward to the process of finding a place or whatever. Like, she's always on the phone with her mom every night, and it's like, I just keep out of that.
Well, as I said, March is a great month to lie. Come up with something. Do whatever it takes. Now, when did you do this?
In the can.
I was gone. Did you do it over the weekend?
I did. I did it on Saturday at the beach.
So this was your... All right, so you've had 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. It's old news.
Is it different if things change? Bathroom habits? I don't know.
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing's changed. We've lived together for like a year, so it's...
I'm going to check in with you on that every once in a while. Because I'm going to be interested on how that whole... I don't know what I'm more concerned about, the Jaguars' offense and their development, or you going from engagement to marriage, how that all evolves.
I'm worried myself.
Yeah. Hey, man. You love her more today than you did yesterday.
I did.
I
do.
I think I can count for maybe 1% of our listening audience that's actually saying that about their significant other right now as they're driving home. If you have not heard, the incomparable J.J. LaSalva is going to get married.
Well, my birthday is Saturday, so that will be the true test of what she gives. Like,
I didn't know that.
I'm expecting the presents to be extra spectacular this year. So,
how old?
33. Jesus' year.
My God, man,
Yes.
You're expected to make mistakes at 32. I mean, that's part of the. I mean, here we're talking about.
I made plenty this year.
Jalen Carter, the mistakes he made at 21. Jalen Carter, by the way, reported back to Indy after going to court.
Are you surprised by that?
Not only am I surprised, I believe he deserves a lot of credit. It would have been very easy for him to, hey, I couldn't make a flight back, or, this distraction happened, this got delayed in court.
That's what I would have said.
I've been having a lot of success in the tank. I've been winning a bunch of smokes. I don't feel like I want to get out right now. Can I stay one more day?
I'm winning in spades.
Okay, I got bottom bunk. The guy in the top bunk doesn't even snow. Who knows? There's so many different ways he could have gone. But, I think the fact that he went back out and finished his interviews, and, I haven't seen anything with him today as far as any on-the-field work, with obviously the defensive line being all over the place. And I'll check this, both edge and defensive linemen getting after it. I'm going to keep you updated here over the next couple of hours. We're also in about 40 minutes going to check in with our buddy John Osher, who typically joins us on Wednesday night, but we pushed him back tonight until a Thursday because we wanted to get the very latest from him after day one during these workouts. You know, the combine's been going on since Tuesday, but today's day one of on-field work, and that'll continue tomorrow and go throughout the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. But with the Jaguars now, you know, they sit somewhere in the neighborhood of around $16 million underneath the salary cap, which is, you know, nearly $225 million. We did learn earlier this week that, again, the salary cap is basically in name only. If you are creative, if you are intelligent, you could find ways to beat the cap. And that is exactly what Trent Baalke has done. I don't like to be one of those who goes back into time and reflects on mistakes, but in this case, I'm going to do it. I understand that Baalke was like the number one man to attack around here for a significant period of time, and I was absolutely among them. Okay, I thought the organization was basically half pregnant. If you're going to blow up the whole thing, blow up the GM. Well, Shad Khan elected not to. And right now, it looks like Shad Khan was right. And right now, it looks like Trent Baalke was right. But for those who have questioned his decision-making, his free agency, his draft, that's one thing. Others have come in and said, hey, Ballou, what's Baalke doing? He doesn't know how to handle the salary cap. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute here. I mean, it's a 12-pack argument if we're going to talk about his first couple of free agency classes and his first couple of draft classes. But if you're making the comment that he does not know how to handle the salary cap, you are wrong. You are 100% wrong. And it's not even close. And you just look at the deals that he's done. I mean, whether it's Beathard or Hasty and some of the bigger deals, Loicon, certainly the Roy Robertson Harris 3-year extension, the way that he's able to use voidable years if he wants, taking roster bonuses, taking salaries over years and creating them into signing bonuses, which you do have the ability to spread out over 5 years. It's a tool that can catch you down the road. But for this team and for what is going on right now, I think it's best case scenario because Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson are showing you and telling you, the Jaguar fan, they're going to do whatever it takes to try to win this year. Back to today's news. Again, it's been reported a couple of different places that it either has happened or will happen with Evan Ingram. The way that the language does read, you only have until Tuesday to put a tag on a player. So that's all 32 teams. And, you know, Tuesday is the deadline to put a franchise tag or a transition tag on any one of these players. And then next week on the 15th, when the league officially begins its year, you have to be under the salary cap, which is $224.8 million. So if they don't get a long-term deal done with Ingram on March 15th, he's going to count $11,345,000. Now, just to remind you, Jacksonville on the 15th could have him in for that figure, but they could shred that and sign him to a long-term deal. The important date there becomes July 15th. You only have those 4 months, okay? You have March, April, May, June until July 15th to get a long-term deal done with a player that you have tagged. If not, that process will, in fact, pass by until I believe the regular season does officially get on. It's either regular season or it's the first preseason game. I'll look back on that to see if that has changed, but I know July 15th is a very important day. All right, the other point I was making, and I agree with this, okay, usually I would not say tight end over tackle. The position doesn't add, right? Quarterback, then what's two? What's the second most important position right now in the NFL, JJ?
Pass rush?
Okay. I think a lot of people out there would agree. They'd say an edge. I think others would say, give me a guy in the island as a cover corner. I think others would say, give me the best left tackle.
Nowadays, it might even be like number one receiver.
Yeah, who knows? Where's right tackle? Well, I'll tell you this. Right tackle ranks ahead of a tight end unless, let's say, you're a Kelsey. Okay? And, there's others out there that I could put out there. But on this team, I think it's more important to get the deal done with Evan Ingram. I wouldn't have re-signed Cam Robinson. They did. I would have drafted the highest-ranked offensive tackle last year at number 1. They did not. I would not pay Juwan Taylor the going rate of $18+ million. I'm not doing it. I think he's been very average. I think he performed better during a contract year. It's not personal. It's business. I think they can get better on the offensive line, okay? Cam's coming back from an injury. You have year 3 of a 4-year rookie deal for Walker Little. That's where I would go. I'm not making a decision here, but obviously I am going to have an opinion. As always, we will give you that opportunity to voice it at 641-1010 on the text line, which is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. All right, we got a ton to do tonight. I'm going to turn this around a little bit, get to the defense in just a couple of minutes because they're working right now, and they continue to do so on the defensive line. But if you want to get things started, your input on what appears to be a decision that is happening or has happened. That is Evan Ingram to remain. Juwan Taylor, right now, it's looking more and more like he could pursue free agency and that there will be plenty of offers out there. How do you feel about that? 641-1010, again, best way to get us. That is on the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. All right, we're going to be busy tonight over the next couple of hours. We're all going to celebrate the David Pasternak contract extension in Boston. That's $90 million over 8. Who? Is Pasternak? Is he a safety? Who's Pasternak? Is he a deep side? I know you people don't know who he is, but this little Boston boy is all fired up. We got a big fight coming up Saturday night. The return of Bones. Where have you gone, Bones? You ever see what? You too old to too young to remember Star Trek, the original Star Trek?
I've seen reruns of it, but no, I was not a Star Trek guy.
When William Shatner would look at the dock and he'd go, Bones.
Was that his nickname?
It was absolutely. It was Spock, and I can't even forget what the doc's name was. But Shatner would look at him and go, Bones, you got to get me down there. There's this available alien woman who needs
Dr. Leonard McCoy.
No, that's Spock.
Oh.
Bones is the doctor. But only Shatner could say it that way. But Chandler Jones's brother, John Jones, fighting Saturday night in Las Vegas. First time in a couple of years. So we're going to get into that today. No doubt about it. The very latest coming out of the Combine, our good friend John Osher is standing by. So we got plenty to do over the next couple of hours. All right, opening comments tonight and each and every night brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Cataracts, all right? A lot of misinformation there. A lot of misinformation when it comes to your eyes, period. I mean, people don't get this, but in a lot of circles, eye care is a racket. It is. People are going to charge you top dollar for what they consider the best possible way to do something important for your eyes. The most expensive way isn't always the best way. And cataract is a major situation. If you're north of 50, chances are you have cataracts. You probably think you need cataract surgery. Wrong. That's not always the case. Let me start by telling you this. Make an appointment with Shmunez Vision. 299-2906. They'll tell you exactly what is in store for your eyes. Simple maintenance, updates on your contacts or glasses? Yeah. But what about laser eye surgery? What about never having to deal with that again? You may be a candidate. Sadly, I'm not. I wish I was, because can you imagine spending the rest of your days never having to worry about finding the readers or taking out the contacts or doing anything along those lines? It's a family organization out at the beach. Both Dr. Neil Shmunez and Dr. Catherine Shmunez. That's more than 30 years of laser eye surgery. I swear by them. And I tell you what, they are absolutely outstanding. If you believe me, good. Call them, 299-2906, or visit shmunezvision.com. Care you can see. JJ, are we on YouTube tonight? I got all dressed up for tonight's show.
Yes. We are on YouTube. I see that. All you got to do is go to 1010XL's YouTube page. We're the first video you see. Leave us a comment. Share us with your friends. Give us a like.
We got a lot to do. It's great to have you with us. He is JJ. My name is Rick Ballou. This is the home of the Jaguars and Into the Night.
Track your favorite golfers and get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates from the players.
17 in a little friendlier mood today.
Brought to you by Monahan Jewelers, Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic Services, and Atlantic Self-Storage.
Honda has done it again with their all-new 2023 lineup for SUVs. Passport, Pilot, HRV, CRV, and the popular CRV Hybrid. We have SUVs for any budget. Visit your local Honda dealer. We're dealing.
Active and pain-free. That's the ticket. Dr. George Barry here, and I know that's the goal of every patient I see. They want the best possible care so they can go back to enjoying life. That could be pick up basketball, golf, tennis, running, or just working out. It all requires you to be as healthy as you can be. If joint pain is taking its toll on your active lifestyle, come see me at Ballou Orthopedics. We have locations all over Jacksonville and can diagnose and treat even the most severe joint pain. A homegrown Jacksonville practice. Find out more at BallouOrthopedics.com.
All right, Ballou here, checking in with words of wisdom to be applied in life in your business from the business attorneys at Jimerson Burr. William Shatner once said, and I do quote, Bones. Hey, JJ, it is Leonard Bones McCoy. You were correct. I was wrong, not to be confused with Leonard Nimoy, who, of course, was Spock, or Mr. Spock. All right, Jimerson Burr, here's the latest. They're hiring, okay? This is consistently one of the top firms to work for right here in Duval. They're recognized for that year after year. Just go to jimersonfirm.com, look for the career page. It's your one-stop business if you are an attorney or paralegal in the field of business. Again, business lawyers and paralegal. Just go to the careers page at jimersonfirm.com. Check them out today.
You will love your new windows and doors from Renewal by Anderson. The biggest sale of the year is going on right now. Get $300 off all windows and $825 off all patio doors. Plus, no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. This offer expires March 31st. Restrictions apply. Renewal by Anderson, the official window and door replacement partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com. License number CGC 1527613.
They've been called the American Led Zeppelin, selling out shows and leaving audiences feeling like they just experienced an actual Led Zeppelin performance.
Yeah, mama said the way you move.
And they're back at the Florida Theater. Get the lead out. Saturday, March 11th. Get your tickets now at floridatheater.com. Get the lead out.
Have a big bowl of cereal with Big Bo.
We don't have big bowls.
Breakfast with Baselli.
Brought to you by
Epstein and Robbins DUI defense firm.
Could you put it in a big bowl?
That's a big bowl.
Just had a big bowl of kicks.
Monday morning
on 1010XL.
Superior Fence and Rail knows about exceptional customer service. From the first call to the final inspection, Superior's team provides first-class care with great communication, friendly installers, and quality fence products. There's a reason why Superior is the top-rated fence company in Jacksonville. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your new fence today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Monahan Jewelers is Jacksonville's source for fine jewelry and certified diamonds for 45 years. Have confidence knowing that you're buying the highest quality diamond at the best price. Monahan's has the inventory of several jewelry stores in one location with unbelievable prices. Diamonds, gemstones, and gold jewelry for every budget. At Monahan Jewelers, expect a huge inventory, great prices, expert jewelry repair, and fantastic service. Visit us at MonahanJewelry.com or call 246-GOLD for Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Instant Keys specializes in replacement of lost, stolen, or broken keys and remotes. Serving the First Coast for over 20 years, Instant Keys provides expert service for nearly every foreign and domestic vehicle, including most luxury models. So don't be intimidated by today's high-tech automotive keys. At Instant Keys, you get dealership-level service at a fraction of the time and cost without the dealership hassle. For honest, professional locksmith service, call Instant Keys today, 722-1111.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camp, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Jacksonville has some junk, and J-Dog is removing it. They're here to do the dirty work. You don't want to remove and dispose of large furniture or appliances yourself? Call J-Dog. Here now, proudly serving you, removing junk from your home or business. They can even handle small demolition projects, and they're still donating local items to veterans in need. So let J-Dog do the dirty work for you. J-Dog Junk Removal. Veteran-owned and operated. JDog.com.
New and pre-owned firearms are always in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimbar, Smith & Wesson, Sig Sauer, and Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
This is all we had, kids. It was the only thing that was on. I mean, you did this or you did a puzzle. You know what I mean? Or you had to do something, because if not, your mom might try to get you to help her, around the house. But George Takei, remember him, Mr. Sulu? Who drove the... We all know who drove the boat, right? In Jaws?
The actor?
Hooper, right? Hooper drives the boat, Chief, right? Isn't that what Robert Shaw said? Richard Dreyfuss was driving it to Chief Brody. Well, George Takei drove the spaceship. He was number one. I mean, Kirk got the glory cut.
He sat in the cool chair, but he didn't drive the thing.
Kirk was like a guy we worked with. He didn't do any of the work. He just got all the glory. He didn't do any of the digging. Others spent all day chopping and pounding that tree. Then all of a sudden it was time for it to fall, and you hand the golden axe to William Shatner. You had, who's the sexy lieutenant lady? She worked like in the corner office. She was always on her feet. You talk about how things have changed and gender equity. They couldn't even provide a seat for her, okay? She had to stand. They went like billions and billions and billions of miles, and she stood the entire time, the entire 5-year transformation.
Uhura?
Yes. She may have been my first crush. It was either her or the two girls from Gilligan's Island. I don't know which it was, so. There you go. Everyone can't wait to tell me how wrong I was by not knowing the difference between Leonard McCoy and Dr. Bones. McCoy, he's a guy, he said, I had it wrong. He says, and then at 39.3, he says, I'm busting your chops. I caddied for you at TPC years ago. I got a caddy on here, just destroying me, okay? Well, hey, listen, was I a good tipper? I try to tip well.
Or were you Matt Kuchar?
Poor Matt Kuchar, man. That guy's not going to. I mean, hey, listen, being labeled something is one of the worst things that can happen to you. I mean, look what happened today. Jerry Richardson died, 86. What's the first thing that comes to mind? Racial, sexual hostility in the building in Carolina. Okay, he had both. He doubled down. He had it racially and he had it sexually. I got to imagine throughout the course of his life, this guy did a lot of wonderful things. He also apparently headed up a major portion of himself and others being complete total scumbags. But that's like that's in sentence number 2 after 86 years on this planet. Okay? Allegations of sexual, racial, workplace misconduct. I'd have to look back on it. I don't know how deep it actually did go. I honestly have forgotten. It cost him his job. I mean, it cost him the ownership job with Carolina. All right. We're going to get to some thank you to the caddy, 1393. I'd love to come out and play again. I'll double the tip if you invite me. I actually played out there a few weeks ago. It's just incredible.
I know you're looking for somewhere to play this weekend.
I had my golf game canceled for Saturday. And I guess it's my fault. I had food poisoning. I was literally on death's door in Costa Rica, third world country. They have no medicine over there. None. Oh, you want to know something else?
Not a Tylenol to be found.
People are sneaking over all sorts of different drugs and paraphernalia. I'm not allowed to bring over distilled water because you can't get that through customs. Okay? We have this guy who picks us up from the airport. It's from Frank the Tank's limo service or whatever they call it. We stop at 4 different pharmacies to try to get distilled water. No distilled water. Okay? So
because you need some for your device.
Here's my choices. Do I bring my golf clubs and leave the CPAP home? Okay? So if I die in Costa Rica because I did not take care of sleep apnea, but I brought my golf clubs, who's going to end up being the big loser? So what I do is I haul the snorkel. I haul the sleep apnea machine.
Is it that big?
It's not old school. Like the first time I ever saw it was, and I think I told you this, I shared a room with David Lamb.
Yes.
In 1999 in New Orleans when Florida State beat Virginia Tech for a national title. And that was like a Darth Vader gas mask. I mean, when he put that thing on,
it covered his whole face.
It was about as scared as I ever. I think since I read or actually saw Charles Manson and Helter Skelter, it was maybe the scariest I've ever been. Hey, you see, Lisa Kasabian died yesterday?
Well, yeah, you told me that.
She was the lookout girl, night 2 of the Manson murders. And she was supposed to take part in it. She remained in the car, and then they gave her full immunity. She ratted out Charlie and the entire family. Changed her name. I think she went to like Washington State or Arizona or something like that. But yeah, she was,
Linda Kasabian.
Would I say Lisa?
Yes.
Linda Kasabian.
Was she so in?
Imagine my embarrassment.
I recently saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where they sort of depict the Manson family in a very fictional way. I wonder if that was the girl that like went back to the car and drove away. If that was who she was supposed to be.
Yes, I think that would be based on
a
true story. I don't.
Yes.
In the actual true story, she remained.
Okay.
But she ratted everyone out.
Snitch.
Yeah, it's one thing to snitch on the mob. It's another thing to snitch on Manson, right? You don't snitch on Charlie. But anyway, so I'm overseas, and I'm like, I just want some distilled water, okay? I haul the entire thing with me. Goes through customs. I got dogs sniffing it. I got people, frisking me, saying, what do you have in here? What is this device? And I'm like, I can't even get distilled water over there. So anyway, I forgot where I was going.
Golf, it was your fault.
Oh, yeah,
you didn't schedule a golf outing.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, it's today, and I'm like checking in. I'm like, hey. They're like, yeah, we on for Saturday? I'm like, yeah, we're on. I'm like, did you make the tee time? No, I thought you made the tee time. No, I thought you made the you made the tee. So all of a sudden, I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm finally 100% again, or almost 100%.
You don't have anything to do.
I have nothing to do on Saturday. I got literally I don't even have a place to play golf I just heard from a caddy from TPC, and I don't even have a place to play golf coming up this Saturday. I mean, it's like, let's talk about the Glory Cut guy.
This is your own hell.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden I'm being made into a Glory Cut guy because I didn't pick up the phone and make a tee time from Costa Rica, where these three knuckleheads hang here in town day after day after day, doing very, very, very little. Only one of them works.
In full health.
Right. So there's that. John Osher in 5 minutes. I have a question that I think is very important for Jaguar fans. And I'm going to try to be delicate with the way that I say this because it really is confusing if you let it sink, okay? To you and to me, it's simple. To every one of you driving home, it's simple. It's not to Trent Baalke. It's not to Doug Peterson. And it comes to the 24th overall selection in the first round. Today, the defensive line is working out at the Combine in Indianapolis. There's all sorts of talk that Jacksonville could go defensive line. On the surface, I look at it and I scream no. How can you go back to the well? You went with Taven Bryan and failed. You went with Kayvon Chason and you failed. Now, I understand that position-wise, you can argue that. And you could say, well, Ballou, they're really outside linebackers, or Ballou, they're really big ends that should have been inside. I understand there's room for an argument here. But every one of these players, Bryan, Chason, Josh Allen, and Trayvon Walker, a huge part of getting them in the first round was for what? Rush the passer. It hasn't happened. So if you look at a guy like Nolan Smith, who today ran a 4.44 at 6'2", 238 pounds, and I'm looking at my email, or I'm looking at my Twitter feed, I'm looking at the text line, I got people saying, hey, Ballou, what do you think about Nolan Smith? Hey, Ballou, what do you think about whoever else it is that could be available at the edge position for Jacksonville? That's the question. Can you go back and draft that position again? Okay? They've done it, what, 4 out of the last 5 drafts or 4 out of the last 6 drafts? Can they go back and do that again? So to you and I, the way that our brain is wired, we're saying, no, don't do it again. Yeah, that's not the way that Trent Baalke's thinking. Trent Baalke's thinking, Taven Bryan? I was in San Francisco when Taven Bryan, Kayvon Chason, I never would have picked Kayvon Chason. Josh Allen, we don't know what we're going to do with this man. Are we going to sign him long term? Are we going to move him? Are we going to let him go? What's going to happen? Trayvon Walker, okay, now that's 100% on this regime. And I think they feel that he's going to turn the corner and end up being, a good fit for this franchise. But as of yet, we haven't seen anywhere near, his full growth. You understand what I'm trying to say? So for us, again, we're like, no, don't go anywhere near it. But to this brand new staff and brand new front office, do not be surprised if that's the direction they end up going. So if you want to comment on that, you can, 641-1010 on the text line, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also, same thing now with the unofficial announcement that Ingram is going to be franchise tagged, the decision to go with him over Jawan Taylor. You can give us your thoughts on both of those two issues. Again, 641-1010, best way to get us. That is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. All right, coming up next, let's go live to Indianapolis. We'll talk to John Osher. He is from Jaguars.com and their senior writer.
Your home for Gators Hoops is 1010XL.
It's the last regular season game for the Gators. Florida LSU. Saturday night at 6 on 1010XL.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-IHRS 777-4477.
Why does everyone seem to hesitate to buy a used car these days? Probably because the warranties stink. Well, we only offer the best cars that can pass our 160-point inspection and qualify for the Beaver Certified program with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. You mean just Chevys and Toyotas, right? Nope, all of them. Nissans? Yep. Fords? That's right. Hondas? You bet. What about all of them? And if you want to see all of them, come see us at Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville is a great place to live. And if you love where you live, you should invest in it. That's why more and more people bank with One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. We invest every penny back into North Florida, backing the very best small businesses, nonprofits, and of course the family home. Why put your money with some big out-of-state bank when you can invest in where you love to live? One-to-One Financial. We're your hometown credit union. Sign up today at one-to-one-fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On March 2nd, 1966, Chicago Blackhawk right wing Bobby Hull becomes the NHL's first two-time 50-goal scorer when he strikes in a 5-4 victory.
We don't have too many cold nights on the First Coast, but when the temperature drops, you want to hit the heat button and warm up. That's where Florida Home comes in. They're the AC experts in Jacksonville, and the importance of keeping your heating system in good working order is really important. If it stops working when it gets cooler, Florida Home will leap into action and provide you with the best solution. Heater and heat pump repair service and new system installation. They do it all. Just call Florida Home AC at 777-4300, the official heating and AC partner of the Jaguars.
Are you an electrician looking for better pay and benefits? Miller Electric Company has the industry-leading compensation package. Electricians are eligible for a signing bonus up to $1,000. Now, they're partnering with the Jaguars on their new performance facility, the Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric has opportunities for you to work on some of the most exciting projects right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're experienced or not, visit MillerCareers.com, an equal opportunity employer. That's MillerCareers.com.
The Jacksonville Icemen are home this Friday and Saturday as they battle the Adirondack Thunder for Healthcare Appreciation Weekend. Healthcare workers get a free ticket when you buy at least one additional ticket. Visit JacksIceman.com to learn more. Saturday, bring your dog to the game for Pucks and Paws Night. Game time for both games is 7 o'clock, and tickets at Ticketmaster or JacksIceman.com. Call 904-602-PUCK. Icemen Hockey is lights out.
The Players' Championship is back March 7 through 12 at TPC Sawgrass. Experience our gold standard as the PGA Tour's best players take on the iconic Island Green. Bring your friends and family to enjoy bites from your favorite local restaurants and purchase the latest championship gear in the expanded fan shop. Plus, don't miss country singer-songwriter Riley Green performing live at Military Appreciation Day on Tuesday, March 7th. Purchase tickets at theplayers.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Now, another interview on the Farah and Farah phone line. Brought to you by the Accident Attorneys at Farah and Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Lovely Indianapolis is where we go. It's always a pleasure to bring in our friend John Osher, senior writer, Jaguars.com. Johnny O, how are you?
Rick, I'm a little disoriented. It's not Wednesday.
I know.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I wanted to give you that one extra day to really evaluate the first 20 yards compared to the last 20 yards for these defensive linemen.
Well, I'll be up front. I don't. I think people who read me over the years kind of know it. I don't spend a whole lot of time at the combine studying the running, the players as much as I concentrate on what Doug Peterson said, what people are saying about the Jaguars. Because I feel like that's what we can sort of do well. You've been up here before. It's kind of hard to differentiate in a day what a player did on the field. I try to decompress a little bit next week and analyze what went on as a whole. So
right.
I'll do the best I can, but I can probably speak more to Doug and Trent than anything else.
Yeah, there's no question. It's a great week for listening, and truly, I say this and people laugh, but I mean, just being in the media lounge and just listening to the stuff that is being tossed around by all 32 teams, it's amazing stuff. Then the drinks will flow, and depending on who it is, perhaps more will even come out. I just have to believe this year, though, John, when looking at the Jacksonville Jaguars, man, literally night and day from a year ago.
Well, and I asked Doug this, not on the podium, but off to the side, when John Shipley and Demetrius Harvey and I were talking to him after he got off the podium. And I really hadn't asked him it before, but I said, how much further ahead, where do you feel like you stand compared to where you thought you would be? And he said, probably ahead. And I don't think he really meant as much how they fared in the second half of the season, although I think anybody would tell you it's probably a little bit ahead of where most people thought they would be. I think Doug thought they could get to about 9-8 and have a shot at it, a different path to that than I think he hoped. But, I think he really thinks they're ahead in terms of these free agents who came in, who may have seemed like short-term fixes last year, if you will, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram, a lot of the guys. I don't know if he thought that they would feel like core pieces this quickly. Evan Ingram all of a sudden feels like a core piece rather than let's see what he is. So I think he feels like they're further ahead in terms of the long-term build than maybe he thought they would be. And I hope I said that right. But I think he feels like the foundation, the culture, all that really came around pretty quickly. Now, I think outside of that, I think the league looks at it and thinks, boy, they're further ahead on the field than maybe we thought they would be this quickly.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. There's no question. And then with that, you look at Trent Baalke. He had a lot of interesting things to say, primarily, retaining his own players. When's the last time we've heard that with this organization on a consistent basis? And then, around the league, this is now a place where players want to come play.
Yeah, and that's really the thing. I don't think it surprised me, the tone of this week. I would say that it sort of solidified the direction that you felt like the franchise wanted to be. Trent Baalke, right after the season, had talked about a quieter or a different Jaguars off season than this team's experienced in a while. And I think after 2 months from that, basically, or a month and a half or so since he spoke last, it feels that way. All the restructuring, all the focus on draft and development, on retaining Ingram, on hopefully retaining Jawan Taylor. I think they'd like to get Arden Key back. I think they'd like to get other guys back. I think it just sort of solidified, his comments sort of solidified what we thought the Jaguars offseason was going to be, which is very much, this is what winning is, Rick. I mean, when you win and when you have core players, you want to retain them. And there's not going to be the free agent noise. I don't think there's going to be a lot of splashes in first-tier free agency from other players. And I think fans need to sort of get their heads around that just because they're not going out and re-signing the top guy doesn't mean they're not trying to get better. It's just that's not going to be an avenue where you do it anymore. Mm-hmm. Or you have to do it very judiciously, which they haven't had the luxury of doing that the last two off seasons. They've had to behave and sign guys from other teams. It's really not a path, as successful as they were at it, it's not a path that you want to be taking every year.
John Osher, live from Indianapolis. Get everything from John and his staff. Just go to Jaguars.com. Of course, John is the senior writer. All right, What's your understanding? What do you believe is going to happen here with Juwan Taylor?
Well, I think they want very much to re-sign him. I think they're going to try very hard to re-sign him. And Trent kept using the word Tuesday, the phrase win-win. They want to find some place where Juwan can be happy coming back at a fair value to him. At the same time, the reality is Walker Little played well. They have Cam Robinson under contract. And there has to be a limit of how far you go for a guy. Frankly, there almost has to be a limit right now on this roster of anybody who's not named Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
And so there has to be a number that you won't go past. And I don't really know what that number is, but I know they love Juwan. They want him back. I think they'd like for him to be the core for a long time. I think in their ideal, Juwan Taylor would be here for 3 or 4 more years. Maybe after that, meaning that's usually how long free agents who aren't quarterbacks are with teams once they re-sign. That would put Juwan as a 7 or 8 year guy. It's a long time in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be what they'd like. I don't know if that would look like having Cam Robinson here for a long time opposite him. Would that look like Walker Little eventually moving over next year once Cam's guaranteed money's out? Those situations are always so fluid that I hate to predict that after this year. But I just don't know if the money will work out to make that happen as much as both sides want it. And you can say, well, if Juwan wants to be here so bad, then he should take whatever the Jaguars offer. It doesn't work that way.
No.
But, I think the Jaguars would love to have him back, but there also has to be a point of at what cost.
Yeah.
And I like Juwan. I really hope he's here because the Florida kid up the coast, I think he would like to be here because his family can drive up, all that stuff. But at some point, it's about setting up generational wealth.
Yeah.
And that's a strong attraction.
No question about it. All right, John, last one for you. And I find myself again trying to separate what I think the fans feel and what the organization is trying to do. Today you got edge guys, and Taven Bryan, Josh Allen, Caleb Von Chason, Trayvon Walker.
I thought you were going to ask me if Jalen was coming back. Right? And I was going to say I don't think so because when you started with the fan stuff, so for the record, I don't see that, but for various reasons, we can talk about that moving forward.
Yeah, but you look at all these drafts, and even though they're not pure edge pass rush guys, because some moved inside, others are outside linebackers. I'm starting to get names coming in saying, are they going to go back to the edge? So my point is that the fans think, again, you're going another pass rusher again. Well, I don't believe that is the way that Trent Baalke and Doug Peterson think, because Baalke's been here 2 years and Peterson 1. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say, how that comes into what they're going to do with the 24th pick.
Yeah, I think if they were sitting there at 24 and honestly thought, wow, here's a pass rusher that can really help us, here's a difference-making guy, I think Trent Baalke believes in big guys enough and pass rush is important enough that it wouldn't surprise me if they thought that guy was the best guy on the board. I don't think they'd hesitate to do it. Realistically, at 24, is a guy going to be sitting there like that they feel that way about is the question. I'm inclined to believe more that I think when it shakes out, I kind of think that tight end in the first round and cornerback in the second round makes sense. And that's only theoretical, Rick, based on what I hear about the cornerback class.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like cornerback goes very deep, and I think they really need a cornerback, and they might even bring 2 in that are in the top 3 or 4 next year, 1 through second-tier free agency, and maybe 1 in the draft. I think they feel like they have to get better in coverage, and it feels like even though I don't think Ingram tagging takes tight end out of play at all early in the draft. I think Doug Peterson's offense can certainly withstand having 2 strong tight ends in the passing game. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Evan Ingram, first-round tight end, Calvin Ridley, and really go after this thing and say, hey, let's have one of the top 2 or 3 offenses in the league. That, to me, feels like theoretically what could happen. But I do believe that with this draft, with this team, best available, if it's impact in first round, I'm not sure there's very much off the table.
Jalen Ramsey to the Buffalo Bills. Can you think of a better place for Jalen than Buffalo?
Oh, did that happen?
No. But it's been one of the many rumors. I mean,
Sure.
I mean, is that talk number one there? I guess behind only Aaron Rodgers. It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked at the Jalen stuff. I thought maybe it happened in the last hour. You know, I haven't taken the Jalen stuff very seriously because I just don't see an outlay of that kind of cash right now for this team. Frankly, with that player, it feels like a ship that sailed situation. You know, everybody always accuses me in the ozone because every once in a while I'll poke fun at the Jalen back situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it would be fun to cover Jalen again. He was always entertaining.
Oh yeah,
he always understood how to deal with the whole media thing. You know, he was must-see viewing. It livens things up, and he's a great player. I'd love to cover him again. I just can't see it realistically happening.
I think most agree with you. No doubt about it. John Osher, get everything from him. Just go to Jaguars.com, and he, of course, is their senior writer. John, safe travels here back to Duval. Thank you.
All right, Rick, always enjoy it, buddy.
There he goes, John Osher. Yeah, I read a report somewhere today that had Jalen going to Buffalo. Now, I was on the sideline in Buffalo when they booed him at the end of the game. That was the same game Fournette ran across the field, got in that battle.
He wasn't even in the game.
That was a very winnable game for Jacksonville if they let get away. And you look at all these young guys, you could come here. I know the NFLPA had their report card yesterday, but I'm a huge quality of life guy. And I chose to come back here in 2006. I had places to go, opportunities to go, a lot of different places. I wanted to come back to Florida. I really did. But can you imagine, and maybe for these guys, maybe the mentality is, listen, this is going to be a short-term 3, 4, 5-year deal, and then I can get out of there. So it's go to this particular place and make money. It's not where I'm going to spend the rest of my life. But to me, getting drafted by Buffalo, Green Bay, or Cleveland is like a prison sentence. It really would be. And I'm not saying that to try to be smart. That applies. If you're graduating from North Florida or Jacksonville University, whatever, and all of a sudden you have a job offer from Buffalo, who in their right mind wants to go work in Buffalo? Who in their right mind wants to go work in Green Bay?
I know the city's better, but I would say the same thing about any city that snows.
Yeah.
I'd put Boston, New York, Chicago.
But there's a little life.
There's
life in those cities.
For me, I'm not.
I gotcha.
I can't enjoy that. And they have to live there during that time of year too. It's like
I gotcha.
The worst. Like as a baseball player, I could. Because I'm only there during the summertime.
But what are you going to do in Green Bay on a Saturday night? Go to Applebee's? I mean, seriously.
Eat mushrooms with Aaron Rodgers.
Chicago, New York, Boston, you got...
everything you can do.
You do. But, yeah, the three that I mentioned...
Hellholes.
Buffalo. Oh, my God. Green Bay and Cleveland. Those are the three worst. But, Indianapolis, Detroit, Minneapolis, Cincinnati. You're not talking about much better. You're really not. There's really a lot of... I love our country, but there's a lot of crappy places to live in this country. Okay? You don't know how good you have it right here. And not only do you... So what if you got 7-foot rats in the building? You can overlook that. You have no state tax. And look at it outside right now. It's like 80-something degrees.
And you don't think there's rats in Cleveland? Come on.
In those subways and stuff, when we used to travel, in the stories of the size of the rats in the tunnels in the subways of Boston were absolutely legendary. Okay? They could eat children. Apparently, they were that big. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. 641-1010. That is the number, that is the best way to get us on the text line, which is brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
He went head-to-head with Reggie White and Derek Thomas.
I like this kind of party!
But can he handle Josie, Matt, and Mia?
Let's go! Break you down! Come on! Woo!
Have lunch with Leon Searcy, in the noon hour on XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Looking for the perfect truck or SUV? Nimnick Buick GMC has more models on the ground than they've had in 2 years. Frank Frangie here. Truckloads of new Buicks and GMCs are arriving daily, and no one will ever pay over MSRP at Nimnick Buick GMC. And for a limited time, well-qualified buyers can enjoy promotional rates as low as 2.9% APR on select models. Stop by the showroom or go online to NimnickBuickGMC.com. Nimnick, your friends in the car business since 1941. GMC, we are professional grade.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, Green for Life.
Bob Arablo here, president of Your Jacksonville Iceman. Thanks to the doctors and staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, our team is well taken care of. We're proud to be associated with Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. Our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is ready to help you too. We'd like to thank the coaches and schools who trust in our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
All over the First Coast, you see a Circle K that's close to home or work. And when you're craving a cold Bud Light, make sure you head into Circle K. Check out all the great specials. Whether it's the 16-ounce aluminum bottles or a 24-pack of Bud Light, it's all at Circle K.
Hun, the drain really smells.
Yeah, wow, it does.
I think it's getting backed up. What should we do? Did you just quack like a duck?
Yes, I did. Duck Rooter, your plumbing pros in Northeast Florida. Need help with a plumbing issue at your home or business? Just call the Duck.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
At Farah & Farah, our goal is to protect your quality of life. That's why we built our website as a tool that you can use to get answers. Like, what do you do when you know your car is totaled, but the insurance company insists on fixing it? What if your child is injured on a field trip, but you signed a release form? What if a trespasser is hurt on your property? Do you have any responsibility? You've got questions, we've got answers at farahandfarah.com. Protecting you and your family since 1979. Offices Jacksonville.
Every time you tee it up, you're trying to go low, trying to perfect the game and the ultimate score. Well, the Golf Club of Southampton invites you to attack those pins and play a track that can meet your challenge. All skill levels, from beginners to scratch golfers. The Golf Club of Southampton has it for you, and the party on the patio, too. Check out their Friday night special menu and music on the patio and under the stars. Call 287-PLAY for a tee time at Southampton and stick around for a little fun after. It's all happening at the Golf Club of Southampton.
Jacksonville has some junk, and J-Dog is removing it. They're here to do the dirty work. You don't want to remove and dispose of large furniture or appliances yourself? Call J-Dog. Here now, proudly serving you, removing junk from your home or business. They can even handle small demolition projects, and they're still donating local items to veterans in need. So let J-Dog do the dirty work for you. J-Dog Junk Removal. Veteran-owned and operated. JDog.com.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camp, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
If it's time to upgrade your old fireplace, then trust in CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit their local showroom and experience the warmth of a Dimplex electric fireplace. For the experts in indoor and outdoor living, visit cssfireplaces.com.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
John Rahm, 7 under, a 65 today in Orlando at the Arnold Palmer. Chris Kirk, first off of his victory over at the Honda a week ago, where he pocketed, more than $1.5 million. He had the early morning clubhouse lead at -5, a 67. Katayama tied him at -5. Cam Young as well at 5 under. Schauffele, Fowler, Cantley, Bradley, Scheffler, and Spieth all at -4. What a leaderboard. Of course, they'll all be here next week. A week from Thursday, we'll be talking about the first round of the Players' Championship. We haven't heard a peep out of Tiger Woods.
And we won't.
So I knew it was wishful thinking. I was hoping for it. There's so much of a battle that's going on right now between both these tours, and, the PGA Tour announcing that they're going to have some no-cut events coming up. It just, the entire thing smells. I mean, Jay Monahan's lucky to still have a job right now. But then again, when you're a commissioner, I think it's expected that your league, or in this case your tour, has a complete absolute meltdown. I mean, I watched Gary Bettman go through a strike in the National Hockey League. I watched Gary Bettman give up that platform of ESPN. I watched Bud Selig take his homegrown Milwaukee Brewers and move them from one league to another and bring us interleague play and bring us the unbalanced schedule, and watch how obviously interest in the United States of America, certainly Black America, has totally disappeared from the game. Roger Goodell is a crook. He looks like one. He's Nixon, for crying out loud. The guy is so unstable. He passes the buck on everything. Okay, even with J.C. Trotter the other day, it was Jim Trotter from the NFL, NFL.com, a question that he should have been prepared for, very easy to answer. Again, back along the lines of Rooney rules, why there are no head black journalists in their building. He didn't know how to answer the question. Passes the buck on Deshaun Watson. He didn't know how to answer any question. Okay? It's Rob Manfred. Oh, my God. Although I got to say, the early return on this speeding up the pitch clock in Major League Baseball is really entertaining. I just want to know, is it fool's gold? What's really going to happen once we get to the regular season?
And Rob Manfred's done enough bad to where even if it is good, that's not going to overtake the bad for me. Hate the guy. And Adam Silver. No one plays in the NBA. Players just sit out every single night. It's like a massive issue. No one watches the regular season game. Every commissioner right now, I would say the average grade is probably like a C-.
And what's amazing is outside of the SEC and Big Ten commissioner, all of these other conference commissioners are nothing more than puppets for presidents. The Jim Phillips initial press conference 2 years ago in Charlotte was one of the most disgusting displays of leadership I have ever seen. I mean, I just sat there thinking that many of our colleagues, I don't know if they were in Atlanta or if they were in Hoover, Alabama, or I think this year it's out in Nashville, But no matter where they were, covering the SEC, where everything is gold. And then here we are in Charlotte, and you walk up Mickey Mouse, who couldn't even answer, again, who's part of the inner circle? Aren't these people briefed? It's, you're going to be you're going to be asked this particular question. What if COVID hits a team? Is the game going to be canceled? Is the game going to be suspended He had no clue. It was his first impression in the Atlantic Coast Conference. It's one of the many reasons why Florida State wants out. It's one of the many reasons why Clemson wants out. Not near the primary reason, one of the many. It's been a joke conference forever. And, we wonder why our country at times is so upside down. Look at the sports that we love. Look at the leadership. Look at these guys. Monahan. How did he not know? These rumors have been going on forever between the PGA Tour and another league to ride. How did he not know? Honestly, Goodell, Silver, Bettman, Manford, just a bunch of clowns. And they lead these entities, these leagues and associations and tours that we love. And you can't find even adequate. I've tried to interview Jay Monahan of several. Oh, no, he's not. What do you mean you're not available to talk to me? What are you doing all day? You're a Boston guy. You can't give me 10 minutes of your life so I can ask you questions in a great golf city like Jacksonville? Oh, sorry. He doesn't have time. What's he trying to do? Figure out how to keep Danny Willett on the PGA Tour so he doesn't go to the Live?
He's just going to steal the exact plans that Live uses. No cut events, small field, everyone makes money. Genius. Goodell does less interviews than Joe Biden. Goodell does 2 interviews a year, maybe 2 press conferences a year.
He's like Jack Nicholson. You never see him except for on draft day.
Laker games.
He's like one of our former mayor, Alvin Brown. I remember I was doing a show with McManus. We were down at one of the parks downtown. What's the one downtown that has all the homeless and shootings? What's the name of that park? I don't even know. I've only lived here since, 96?
James Weldon Johnson Park?
No, it's the one that's got a couple of restaurants around it, whatever.
Main Street Park?
No, it's pretty close to the Main Street Bridge.
Metropolitan Park?
No, I didn't know we had so many parks.
Yeah. Riverfront Park?
No.
South Bank Park?
No.
Jesse Ball DuPont Park?
That's not it.
Friendship Park?
Nope.
Landon Park?
No.
Memorial Park?
Nope.
Verona Park?
No.
Stockton?
It's not Stockton
North
Park.
Bank Riverwalk?
Not the North Bank.
Ballast Park?
Nope, it's not it.
Brackridge? Riverside? Botanical Gardens? Dames Point Park?
Nope.
Mom's Park?
Hemming Park.
Hemming
Park.
Jesus.
Hemming Park. All right.
Of course.
So we got this big announcement. The mayor, Alvin Brown's going to stop by. McManus and I.
Hemming Plaza. We just got about
Hemming Plaza
1,000 texts.
Okay. Yeah. I can't. No, I can't wait to visit again. So I haven't been there since this failed interview with the mayor, Alvin Brown. So we bring him on. But here's where it gets better. All right? As we're bringing him on, he's got 5 handlers. And this very kind lady walks up to me and says, "You can't ask the mayor about the Jaguars." This is circa 2008, 2009. I don't know.
So what would the question have been about a new stadium or London or
whatever it was whatever it was at the time.
Uh-huh.
Okay. We're getting ready to bring him on. I think actually McManus is talking on air. And I'm extending the hand, handshake.
As he's sitting down with you guys?
Right. As he's putting the headset on. And the handler's like, you're not allowed to ask what I'm like, well, what in the hell do you think I'm going to ask him about? You think I'm going to ask him about the homeless people here in Jacksonville? You think I'm going to ask him why the Main Street Bridge opens at 11:30 or 11:45 every Sunday before a Jags home game because you have one little tiny sailboat going down to St. John? I mean, what do you expect me to ask him about? So, of course, I played it off like I didn't hear. And that caused a whole bunch of whatever. I still think he got mad at me because when I met him in London, we were at some black tie event with Shad Khan, and I honestly thought he was a get-back coach. It's a true story. I was with Loggeman and a few others, and they're like, oh, he's like big important, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, aren't you like the, assistant to assistant offensive line coach? He's like, hey, kid, I'm the mayor. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Damn. In that case. Mm-hmm. And by the way, these rude, racist texters saying Hemming Plaza, of course it's no longer called that. Because George Floyd, after that, we changed it to James Weldon Johnson Park.
Okay.
Because, of course, I'm sure Hemmings is some sort of racist.
I have never visited the Weldon Johnson.
No. Well, you have.
Now, is that Casey Weldon Brad Johnson after
the great Super Bowl?
The 1990 loss at the U, which I was at. I remember Florida State got a late touchdown from Edgar Bennett to make it respectable, but I want to say it was like a 26-18 game or 28-16 game. That was the game that Brad Johnson actually officially lost his starting job to Casey Weldon.
You remember it like it was yesterday.
I do. And now it's the Weldon Johnson one. So they have all these people now trying to be careful and this and that. Hey, I had no idea. I said flat out, I had no clue as to what the name of the actual plaza was. I hope someday I want to go downtown. Seriously.
Yeah, give me a reason to go.
The only time I go downtown is to cover the Jaguar games or for me to go to a concert. Give me a reason to go downtown. Honestly, give me a reason. And let me know when that Main Street Bridge is going up.
The Players is coming.
Get live Southeast Orthopedic Specialist leaderboard updates.
Players Championship is the biggest PGA Tour event you can win.
Brought to you by
Dr. Mitchell Yass and the Yass Method for pain-free movement.
And First Coast Honda dealers.
On 1010XL.
I realize the complexities of the human body and its ability to heal itself.
That's orthopedic surgeon Dr. John Herzog talking about regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics.
It's a very well thought out process, and they use it in all the professional teams around the world.
Regenerative medicine uses healing agents from your own body, like your blood or bone marrow, highly concentrated and delivered right to the achy joint.
By putting it in the spot where it can't normally get to, you can facilitate healing.
At QC Kinetics, they are the nation's leader in this exciting field of medicine. Lasting pain relief with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery.
People are very happy to have an opportunity to get better without going through the entirety of a medical procedure.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain are no longer the only ways. Learn more about regenerative options that could help you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation.
904-274-5522. That's 904-274-5522. 904-274-5522.
Don't miss the Players Championship March 7th through 12th at TPC Sawgrass. Invite your friends and family to enjoy the ultimate fan experience, complete with bites from your favorite local restaurants and front row access to the PGA Tour's best players. While on site, be sure to visit the expanded PGA Tour fan shop to stock up on this year's championship gear. Secure your spot at the iconic stadium course today. Tickets and parking passes are on sale now at theplayers.com.
Hey, poker players! The Run Good Poker Series is making a stop at Best Bet Jacksonville from March 23rd to April 2nd. The Run Good Poker Series features 9 poker events, including the $1,200 no-limit hold'em main event with a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool, and event number 1, $400 no-limit hold'em with a $100,000 guarantee. Win your way in through satellites going on all month. Check out the tournament structures at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com.
The Jacksonville Icemen are home this Friday and Saturday as they battle the Adirondack Thunder for Healthcare Appreciation Weekend. Healthcare workers get a free ticket when you buy at least one additional ticket. Visit jacksiceman.com to learn more. Saturday, bring your dog to the game for Pucks and Paws Night. Game time for both games is 7 o'clock, and tickets at Ticketmaster or jacksiceman.com. Call 904-602-PUCK. Icemen hockey is lights out.
Outstanding Scholar athletes take pride in hitting the field and the books. That's why 1010XL salutes the Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Wednesdays on The Franchi Show.
Brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
And the Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local Union 234.
You've got advanced prostate cancer, but you're not waiting around. You want straight talk to facts about Orgovix.
Orgovix Relagolix 120 milligram prescription tablets is a treatment for adults with advanced prostate cancer. Fact: Orgovix is a different kind of androgen deprivation therapy treatment, a pill, not an injection. Orgovix may cause serious side effects, including a heart condition called QT prolongation. Tell your doctor right away if you feel dizzy, faint, have a racing or pounding heart, or chest pain. Orgovix can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during treatment and for 2 weeks after Orgovix treatment. The most common side effects include hot flushes, increased blood sugar and blood fat levels, muscle and joint pain, decreased blood hemoglobin levels, increased liver enzymes, tiredness, constipation, and diarrhea. Other side effects include weight gain, decreased sex drive, and erectile function problems. Orgovix may cause infertility. Talk to your doctor if infertility is a concern for you.
Go with Orgovix. Ask your doctor. For more facts, visit gowiththefacts.com.
They've been called the American Led Zeppelin, selling out shows and leaving audiences feeling like they just experienced an actual Led Zeppelin performance. And they're back at the Florida Theater. Get the lead out. Saturday, March 11th. Get your tickets now at floridatheater.com. Get the lead out.
Yo, this is Tony from Tony D's. Are you looking for a great slice of pizza? Well, we have about 12 varieties. Most places won't have slices of pizza after lunch. At Tony D's, you can get a slice all day. It's always fresh at Tony D's Pizza. Bay Meadows and 295.
David here with Royal Pest Services. That grass is waking up from its winter nap. Royal is close to applying products that help bring it out of that dormancy. Our granular aeration allows treatment to get to the root system. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free estimate. It's grow time!
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, so reports are now coming in out of Indianapolis that Shaq Griffin is going to be released by the Jaguars. I think this is someone just trying to get ahead of the story. It hasn't already happened. It now says he's expected to be released. But it popped up on my Bleacher Report. You have things pop up on your phone?
Like a notification?
Right.
I've turned them all off successfully except for ESPN. ESPN loves jamming a good WNBA update down my throat.
I need to sit down with a someone in the technical field that can help me get rid of these pop-ups because I don't even know who this guy, Jordan Schultz is his name.
Sounds reputable.
Says he's an NFL insider. Hell, I'm an NFL insider. This guy's somewhere in New York, and he again, his report, it came out like it had just happened. But now that I read it, it says he's expected to be released. Now, Jeremy Fowler saying the same thing, ESPN. If you don't remember who Jeremy Fowler is, he once covered the Gators, and he was screamed up and down, head to toe, by Urban Meyer. This is no doubt.
Oh, my God. That was so long ago. So he was like a student reporter there then.
I don't know if he was a student reporter or if he was like a newspaper beat guy.
Or super fresh. I know that. He was super young. God, that was cringe.
That really was. I mean, there's been some great meltdowns, and I don't have an issue with a player or a coach responding and defending, but the reason why Jeremy Fowler is at ESPN now is because Jeremy Fowler did a good job and he asked some difficult questions. You're not going to go from point A to point B without doing your job and doing your job well. And sometimes tough questions, in fact, do have to be asked. So Jacksonville right now is about $16 million under the cap. There have been reports today that have not been confirmed that a franchise tag is going on Evan Ingram. That's going to cost Jacksonville $11,345,000. They have until Tuesday to officially put that tag on him. Again, no release as of yet from the Jaguars. If, in fact, he is reinstated once the season officially begins on March 15th, then Calvin Ridley is going to cost $11 million against the cap. That may not come in. Knowing the NFL, knowing everything we just talked about, as far as leadership, I'm sure they have just all sorts of things that they have to look at, right? It's been exhaustive, right? And how could anyone just simply get the dossier or get the information or grab the syllabus that I'm sure Calvin Ridley had to write in order to ask for his reinstatement for having the audacity to put, not even a band on a game. What did he spend, like $1,250? I think was what he ended up wagering on. I mean, how much more investigative work is that going to take to let the man, respond? Let the man begin his life over again. He's paid the penance. But no, the NFL will be very thorough with this. We're going to go back and find out where Calvin Ridley went to junior high school and high school. We're going to talk to all his teachers. We're going to talk to his counselor. We're going to go to Bama. We're going to go to Atlanta. We're going to do our due diligence. So sooner or later we'll find out about that. But anyway, it's $11 million. It's going to cost you $9 to $10 million to sign these draft picks, which is about 56 days away is the NFL draft. But you're going to recoup $13.1 million with the Shaq release, and that is expected. This is what's sad about the game. And I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you I'm really close and really tight with Shaq Griffin. I'm not. The year he got in Jacksonville was still a COVID year, right? So we didn't have access to the locker room. We weren't able to go in there, whether you went in once a week or 4 times a week. So I didn't know him all that well. But when he did grab the podium and do things along those lines, he was a very likable guy, very charismatic, a good leader. He just wasn't a good football player. And he was injured, and he was tremendously overpaid. You ready for this one? I believe he was an Urban guy. Out of all the guys they brought in, Urban really gushed over him and really gushed over Rayshawn Jenkins as if there were huge leadership qualities that came with those two football players. When it was all said and done, Griffin started 14 games in year 1. And then last year, because of the back injury, he only played in 5 games. So here's a guy who signed a 3-year, $40 million deal. He gave the Jacksonville Jaguars 19 games for $40 million. It won't be officially $40 million because, year 3 of this contract is going to come into play. Jacksonville is going to be able to save $13.1 million. They're going to have to eat $4 million in dead cap money. For those of you who do not know what dead cap money is, Jacksonville dealt with more than $30 million of dead cap money during the 2022 season. This year, right now, their latest figures is $1,411,000. They're paying out Laviska Shenault, $790K, J. Tufele, $412K, and Gregory Jr., $130,000. So you can add $4 million to that dead money list for Shaq Griffin. What that means is when you add up your entire roster. Now, this doesn't apply to the 90-man roster. And right now, it's not a 90-man roster. It won't become a 90-man roster until after the NFL draft and after you add your rookie street free agents, okay? You'll have a rookie camp where maybe some guys off the street can make it. Obviously, you're going to have your, 8 draft picks, and then you're going to bring in undrafted free agents and give them an opportunity to make the team. We saw that with a lot of different guys last year. Most notably, let's say Kevin Austin Jr., the wide receiver out of Notre Dame, is one that certainly comes to mind. But once you get into the regular season, your 90-man roster, once it's reduced to 53, it counts as well to guys who are on your PUP list, your injured reserve list, your practice squad list, and your dead cap money list. All of those players, all of the finances combined, have to be under $224.8 million. So, Jacksonville will continue to maneuver here a little bit, but as expected, that move has now come in with Shaq Griffin. Ballou, this is an interesting one. 0361. If Jalen Carter drops, do you pick him at 24? Absolutely. Absolutely you do. Yes. Here's a guy who played with Trayvon Walker. Here's a guy that I believe feels really bad about what he did. Listen, lives were lost. And this is no joking matter. But this young man made a mistake. And I know that when I was 21, hell, when I was 51, I made mistakes and still make mistakes. I get so bothered by people who act as if they're so perfect. And I think jealousy comes into play. I think disdain comes into play, that people just don't like to see others have success. What he did was wrong. He never should have left the scene. But kids make mistakes. And I'm sure that he was absolutely scared out of his mind.
He probably won't drop that far.
I don't think he will.
But
I don't think he drops out of the top 10.
I read an article today from one of these sports reporter lawyer guys. And there was a 22-year-old man in the state of Georgia that basically did the exact same thing as him and got charged with capital murder. Even though he wasn't involved in the crash. He was just driving with him. He was racing the other guy and the other guy died. So, I'm not expecting these charges to be upgraded, but I also wouldn't be surprised if something really bad happens to this kid. I don't think this is over.
I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know Jalen Carter. I've never spoken to him. I feel awful about what happened.
But if it's just these misdemeanors, he's not dropping 24 spots.
Here's what I think is going to happen. I don't want to say anything that is improper because lives were lost. But here's my guess. There's going to be a massive investigation at Georgia. A massive one.
An internal investigation.
And let me tell you something. You know it as a fan of the U. I know it as a fan of Florida State. Our Gator fans listening know it as well. When you dig deep enough, you are going to find. And, with the NIL now in or the NIL now in, and you're able to pay players now in, I don't know, the statute of limitations and looking back. And I'm not even talking about illegally paying players. I'm talking about relationships with players and other individuals. Georgia's always been known for that. I remember getting knee-deep into it with Georgia during when I was in Tallahassee and when I found out that Corey Simon was going from Georgia to Florida State and that Corey Simon was going to room with Randy Moss. This was unbelievable when it happened because it was only a couple of newspapers. It wasn't newsworthy. The way I found out was, I don't even want to say, even though it happened so long ago.
We're talking 30 years.
Right. Actually, it wasn't Corey Simon and Randy Moss. I'm trying to remember who it was with Corey Simon. I think those years are a little bit different. If I remember, Moss came in 96, 95 or 96 with Lavernius Coles and Peter Warwick. I want to say Cordy. It may have been. I mean, listen, we're going back 30 years. You know, sometimes I've forgotten a little bit. But, and, you know, his whole relationship with the girl there and some things some improprieties
95
that did take place. Okay. I mean, I was wet behind the ears, and I ruffled some major feathers. And looking back on it now, I loved it because they were just pissed that I got the story. That's what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to see a deep dive on the program. And by the way, not to spin this away from Jalen Carter, where the hell's Kirby Smart been during all this? Kirby Smart on an island somewhere?
They had like a canned lawyerly statement yesterday that said like, "Hey, we've answered everything. We're still dealing with, or we're still talking with the cops and being as, you know, upfront as we can be about everything." You know, a canned answer, canned statement from some lawyer in the UGA office.
It's interesting how certain stories can get buried. Remember the whole Brian Kelly story when they shouldn't have had that practice at Notre Dame, and he allowed the videographer to go out there, and he was
texting people or friends saying, "I'm worried about, like, I'm scared for my life up here."
That was a story I had a very difficult time dealing with. And one way or another, perhaps I was told to jam it. Big money involved in something. I mean, it's you know, we've talked, somehow for one reason or another, we found ourselves tonight talking about men of power who lie and men of power who pass the buck. And money can buy so much, including money can buy your silence. So we'll see what happens here. I have no issue with Georgia. I want to see Georgia continuously beat the living snot out of Florida. Okay? I love it.
Amen.
Okay? I mean, I love it.
I've been a huge Georgia fan the last 5 or 6 years.
But I'm a little bit scared about what they're going to find.
They're lucky the NCAA isn't allowed to, like, put people on probation. You know, the probation doesn't even exist anymore. You know, I feel like if this was back in our day, as they say, Georgia might actually be getting in trouble, but I don't foresee that happening. I foresee Kirby having a come-to-Jesus moment with his team. We got to clean things up, but nothing bigger than that.
Let's take our final break of the night. Guess who's coming up? He's our good buddy, Rafael Esparza. Bones as a big fight coming up on Saturday night. First time in a couple of years. Let's get the early feel for this year's Players' Championship as far as wagering. Okay, you're going to waste all your money on a big gun, going to play a 7-1, 8-1 odd for John Rahm or something like that? Or are you going to look for, is it Sonny Woo Kim?
Siwoo Kim.
Sonny Woo Kim warming up in the Red Sox bullpen. Siwoo Kim with a 2-stroke lead heading to 18.
I think you might have mixed him up with Sung J.M.
Yep, Sung J.M.
His countryman.
No doubt about it. So we'll get the early look on this year's Players' Championship. Let's go live to Las Vegas, bringing our good buddy Rafael Esparza.
From Duval to the world,
everyone can hear.
Download the 1010XL and XL 92.5 FM apps for free on Apple and Android devices and listen wherever life takes you.
It's time to play Fix That Plumbing Problem. What do you do if you have a leaky pipe? Contestant 1.
Put a bucket under it?
That's it.
And maybe a towel?
Contestant 2. That's right. Just call the Duck.
Clogged drains, leaky pipes to full repipes, just call the pros at Duck Duck Rooter. Commercial, residential, any plumbing issue.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Josephson, Chief Medical Officer of Nemours Children's Health Jacksonville. I am so grateful to the Players Championship for supporting our mission of creating the healthiest generations of children. I'll see you in the Kids Zone in 5 days.
Are you an electrician looking for better pay and benefits? Miller Electric Company has the industry-leading compensation package. Electricians are eligible for a signing bonus up to $1,000. Now, they're partnering with the Jaguars on their new performance facility, the Miller Electric Center. Miller Electric has opportunities for you to work on some of the most exciting projects right here in Jacksonville. Whether you're experienced or not, visit MillerCareers.com, an equal opportunity employer. That's MillerCareers.com.
It's the show made especially for Jags fans.
That's the kind of talk I like to hear.
With Mike Dempsey, Fat Tony, and E.T.
I like that, man. I like that.
Jaguars Today, every weekday from 10 to noon.
From the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
On 1010XL.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors and siding.
What if you could be credit card debt-free in 10 days and save as much as $1,000 a month? Loan Pronto's all-new Express Equity Line of Credit program is just what you need. Hey, it's Prosser here. You don't have to do a full home refi. You can tap a small portion of the equity you have and enjoy a super low monthly payment. With Loan Pronto's Express Equity Credit Line, you can close in 7 to 10 days, and a $50,000 loan will only cost you around $400 a month. Use that money and pay off high-interest credit cards or do a home improvement project. You can access up to 90% of your home's equity, and 9 out of 10 homeowners won't even need an appraisal. So even if you did a total refi recently or just bought your home, you can tap the equity with this fast, easy program. Stop the madness. Say no to 24% interest fees. Call Loan Pronto today. 904-999-1508. That's 904-999-1508. Or as always, you can visit loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This 1010XL 92.5 FM hour is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Now, another interview on the Farah and Farah phone line. Brought to you by the Accident Attorneys at Farah and Farah.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
His name is spelled Alex Murdaugh, although he goes by Alec. And apparently they're pretty close. We'll see. I mean, he's so guilty, so he'll probably get off, right? Circumstantial evidence. They don't have forensics. I've seen both specials. You've seen the one on Netflix and on HBO Max. I think they were both 3
part series. You talk about power of the rich and how you can run a small little town. It's nauseating if you've seen either one of those two reports. So let's go to Vegas.
By the way, real quick, he was just found guilty.
He was?
Yes. Guilty in the murders of his wife and son.
Because he was going to go to jail for like 30, 35 years anyway for, stealing millions of dollars from his clients and all of that. So he looks inbred. He's they're going to have a field day with him in prison. They're going to pass him around for smokes.
He definitely doesn't look built for a hard time.
What a scumbag he is. I mean, seriously, he lived the privileged life and everything that went along with it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you need to check it out. But let's go to Vegas. Let's bring in our buddy Rafael Esparza of MyBookie.com. Did you have any odds on this with Murdoch?
Of course we did. What's my name? I'm a top guy. Alex Murdoch was minus 2,000 to be found guilty of murdering his wife and son, and
he was minus 2,000. All right, wow.
After I watched both specials, you said it on HBO and Netflix. After I watched both of them, I thought it was going to be like minus 500, but after I watched both of them, I bumped it up. I mean, you said it. He just looks guilty, and he's not going to enjoy prison. He's going to be grabbing his ankles.
I was getting O.J. Simpson's report on it because he's covering this trial, and I almost got on speed dial to have you make a wager for me, but it appears now I'm too late.
Too late. Should have had that up. 3 weeks ago I posted that up.
Yeah, it's a shame. It really is. Some innocent lives lost, particularly the 19-year-old girl. But the 16, 17-year-old boy, the housekeeper that was there, for 20 plus years. Just the tragedy. I think the documentary's been pretty good, but as always, whoever writes the book, that'll probably be much more thorough, and we'll get some good stuff on that, I would think, coming up here in the pretty near future. All right, man, how's it going? How you been?
Good. I'm glad you're back from golfing from my former neck of the woods up in CR, so hopefully you have a nice tan, but hopefully you shot well.
Now, where's your casino? Is it in San Jose or?
It's in San Jose. It's not a casino. It's just an office. Most of the sports books out there just have office space. It's funny. We're all like a whole bunch of casinos are all pretty much all in the same block. And then when we all go out drinking, it's one heck of a ride of everyone just talking to shop. But it's in San Jose, right by the soccer field.
Okay. Yeah, I was about 20 minutes outside of there at the Westin.
Okay.
Yep, that's where I stayed. It was beautiful. It was absolutely fantastic. I had a tremendous time. All right, hey, Bones is back, right? Coming up right there in Las Vegas, Saturday night, UFC 285. What's the latest there as far as the money?
He opened up 160. It's about 175 right now. I don't think Bones goes to $2. I'm going to be rooting against him because I'm not the biggest fan of him at all, but I do see him winning this one. But we're going to be big Gon fans. I can tell you this because the public is going to be all over John Jones. So again, I don't think it goes too high past the $2. But everyone keeps on saying this UFC 285 card is stack. 7 fighters are minus $3 or higher in this card. So we're going to be rooting for dogs in this one because there's a lot of chalk on UFC 285.
Now, has he fought since Francis Ngannou? No. And wasn't that fight, for the most part, wasn't it like a wrestling match?
He's never fought Ngannou. He hasn't fought it. I can't remember. I mean, that's why I don't agree with him being called the GOAT.
No, I'm talking about the other guy. I'm talking about the other.
Gon. Gon hasn't fought since Francis Ngannou, and he's coming off a broken hand. So I think it was 9 months ago that he had the surgery. I mean, so it's going to be very interesting. That's why I think Jones wins this one. But any other fighter, any of the other heavyweights that I think Jones fights is going to have a lot tougher time. I don't think he has a tough time with Gon.
How about the props coming up this weekend in Indianapolis for the NFL draft, particularly with skill position guys? How's the money been there?
It's been good with the combine. I had to shoot myself in the face because I had to put odds on that. So it was a very, very low day of my life when I had to do NFL combine odds. But I enjoy the draft ones because it's a little bit more little more research and stuff like that. But the NFL Combine is kind of a way. I like to enjoy it. I mean, not to go back on UFC, but I have a couple ones that you're going to get in your email. Who's going to bleed first, Gane or John Jones? Gane's minus 220. And will John Jones fail a post-fight drug test? Yes or no on that one. So yes is 5-1 right now. We did open up at 6, and everyone bet the yes right away. So we had to move it down to 5-1.
I thought you were going back to Alec Murdoch when you talk about shooting yourself in the face. I mean, I guess it was Crazy Cousin Eddie or something like that. But if we didn't know the answer to that question officially right now. Rafael Esparza live from Vegas. Of course, coming up here next week will be the Players Championship. And, they're playing right now in Bay Hill. I understand the Masters, but how do things work here for the Players where it's considered by a lot of people the 5th major, or perhaps the biggest golf event that's not one of the 4 majors? Any money at all yet on next week, or is everything now simply on what's going on at the Arnold Palmer?
I think right now, of course, you have probably the 4 top ticket written: John Rahm, McIlroy, Scheffler, and Justin Thomas. But of course, anytime the big boat of Tiger Woods going around, everything's going to be talked around Tiger, which drives me crazy. How come no one's talking about John Rahm? Let's say if he wins or goes in the top 5, top 10 again, he's just been playing some outstanding golf. He's 7-1 right now to win the Players, but I think any of those 4 golfers I mentioned, if they win, will probably not take a big hit, but we'll be rooting. And there's a couple of good golfers. Cameron Young, you can get him almost 36 to 1. Jason Day, 45 to 1. There's some of the good golfers that have really, really, really good odds. That wouldn't shock me if they come up. But more action on the Players each year gets bet on it.
Now, we haven't heard officially on Tiger. You hear anything out there?
No, I have not, but it's the biggest deal. I've been there during the weekend Players, and when his boat pulls up, you think God's walking on the boat to play 18. So I have not heard if the boat is coming up in Jacksonville.
Man, we want him here. It'd be a lot of fun to see Tiger try to give it one more shot here at the age of
He's not going to get
47.
a shot.
Yeah, but just to have him make the cut, have him stick around. Guys like you're in one of those beautiful chalets on Saturday and Sunday, and you're sipping wine with your pinky up. Don't you want to have Tiger Woods walk by you in a red shirt?
No, it's March Madness. I'll be dealing with conference championship Sunday on that one, so no.
All right, hey, tell us what's not going on. How does that sound? Hey, by the way, what's the early feeling on the quick pitch count in Major League Baseball?
I've talked to a lot of scouts because I talk with a lot of scouts and stuff like that. The players are telling them that they love it. They love the speed of the game. The batters are not thinking as much. Okay, I got to get in the box and get ready to go. So they're not thinking about, okay, is it going to be a curveball slider? They're just there. So I heard the speed of the game and the bases. I'm hearing no difference whatsoever. They could care less if it's smaller or bigger. The bases are not causing anything, but the speed of the game, batters like it, and we've heard Max Scherzer loves it. So I think it's a good thing.
Bertuzzi in Boston. Are you kidding me? All right, tell us.
I thought of you, and it was sad to see Patrick Kane, my fellow Blackhawks, go to the Rangers.
Yeah, it's happening. A couple days left. Teams making moves in the National Hockey League before the trade deadline. All right, it's happening, really. Every sport that you can think of. Tell us what's going on at MyBookie and MyBookie.org.
I know baseball's already here, and a sport hasn't ended yet. So, but yeah, UFC 285 is this weekend. College basketball conference tournaments have started already. So that's full thing. NHL, can the Boston Bruins maybe break something? They do. The Seattle Mariners, could they be the Seattle Mariners of hockey? Who knows? But it's a fun time to sign up right now at MyBookie. Sign up, win today. Great weekend. And don't forget the XFL Week 3.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Rafael, always a pleasure, sir. Thank you. We'll do it again next week.
Take it easy. A fantastic weekend.
There he goes. Full slate tonight in the NHL. Tampa up 1-0 after 20 minutes. Taking on Pittsburgh, but Ottawa and New York tonight against the Rangers. Kane didn't go in Game 1. We'll see if he goes tonight. Let me check. Let me see if he's got any ice time. Let's see. We got a couple of seconds left in the show. He is playing. Okay. So Game 1 in Gotham for the former Blackhawk. Sabres in Boston, no score through 1. The Kraken in Detroit. My goodness, 5 goals in the first period. That almost never happens in the NHL. The Flying Jessica Blaylock Panthers. Predators up 2-0 right now in Miami. And several games tonight I mean, this is great. I'm going to go home, watch the Combine. I'm going to go home and certainly watch some Thursday night National Hockey League. You get to go home and say hello to your fiance.
She'll be there. She always is.
Folks, I don't check the text line now that the show is over. If you'd like to get a hold of me, please do so on Twitter. That is Ballou, Ballou 1010XL. Hackers up next. Thank you to John Osher. Thank you to Rafael Esparza. For JJ, I'm Rick Ballou. We will do it again tomorrow at 6 o'clock on your home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.